Yo, welcome back to the Further Your Lifestyle podcast, conversations on lifestyle, passions, and hustles. My name's Chris Furlong. I am your host, and I'm super excited to be back here having the conversation with you. Episode 68 today, and it's exciting because we're almost halfway through the year. But before we start touching on checking in for the year and how we're progressing, I wanted to really just talk about doubt and how it is a huge progress killer. And I think this is something relevant to all of us one way or another. Doubt really does limit us from starting. It can throw us off our path of where we are currently, but also it can trip us up right at the end, right near the finish line of where we want to be or where we're trying to progress towards. And that's what I want to chat to you about today, because I've really been experiencing some doubt over the last couple of weeks, and it's been a bit of a challenge and a bit of a battle. And I wanted to make very, very clear that this whole podcast, the whole premise of this podcast is to help you further your life. And the way I like to do that is to, I do it with the intent to bring you things that will enable you, things that will inspire you, and things that will, motivate you to pursue, to further your life yourself. However, a step before we can even, take the steps to, make a change and move forward in trying to make a difference in our lives is battling with the mind, and that is the battle of doubt. So how do we battle doubt and take the win? How do we move forward? How do we overcome it? And how do we progress onwards with a clearer mind, I guess? And what I want to chat to you about today are a few things that you can do, which I have been doing and that I have done, and things that help me progress through the doubt and help me move towards to the other side. I must say this, and I want to make sure I put this very, very clear. This isn't easy, right? And I don't mean to just talk about these things and just say, go do this and everything will be perfect, because that's not the reality of it. You could go out, you could do these things, and it's not going to make everything just perfect and give you all sunshine and rainbows. The reality is this. What I'm about to tell you will come with a lot of struggles. It will come with, and it will come with you needing to have to muster up the willpower to even want to try and attempt these things in order to get yourself out of a rut or to get yourself trying to work through those things. So if you want this, you need to be willing to try and to be willing to take action. And I'll be the first to admit that when fighting doubt and battling it, the first struggle is actually finding the confidence to tackle it. And that is a battle on its own. So all I ask for you is to listen to this with an open mind and be willing to try something different, to try something new, to see if you can take on your doubt and tackle it with a new approach. And maybe this can help you move forward. And let's jump into it. So the first thing that I want to mention is take action rather than trying to convince yourself to change. Now, I think this applies to a lot of things in life in general, not just doubt, but the worst thing that we can do is nothing. The worst thing we can do is just wait around expecting things to change. Wait around for things to finally just be where we want them to be, especially when it comes to doubt, because a lot of the time we're too scared to try. We're too scared to do anything. So we think, I won't do anything. I'll just wait till the time is right. Well, we're actually better in trying to take some small actions to start to see some progress, to start to see if things are going to work, and just to get some momentum happening. As you start to do that, you can start to then it'll help put you in the right position, it'll help put you in the right path and help you build or rebuild that confidence to then execute a little quicker and a little swifter. Rather than trying to convince yourself you can do better, you need to just give it a shot and see how it goes. That's unfortunately the reality of it. You need to kind of be willing to fail, be willing to things not go as planned, but by moving in that direction, you're making some progress in the right direction. As I said just before, even if you fail, taking action is enabling you to be a little bit more motivated and encourages you to want to try again. And of course, it also increases your odds of success and actually getting to where you want to be, and also getting your thoughts headed in the right direction as well. So that's number one. Number two is focus on past successes. When we reflect on the past success and the past wins, we can start to see where we've come from. We can start to see that we've actually got it. We're actually more capable than maybe we realize in the moment. We've all come from somewhere, we've all got a story to share, and we've all got some thick and thin moments. Some moments which we're not proud of and moments that we're very, very proud of. And those are the moments you want to focus on. Those are the moments that have enabled us to get to where we are today. Of course, the fails, the struggles, and the things that we are not necessarily proud of, they've enabled us to get to where we are today as well, because they've helped us make better decisions going forward. So that's why it's important to reflect back and to see how we have progressed today. I think you'll be surprised how closely connected our perception of ourselves is in the way that you remember yourself in the past. The question I have for you is, do you focus on the negative, the failures and all those things that you've experienced, or are you focusing on the positive, on all the successes you've engineered or the things that you've accomplished? How you answer that is going to have a big impact on the actions that you will take next and how they will turn out for you. But regardless of this, by looking at either the positive or the negative, it's going to control the narrative forward. So my advice to you, my encouragement to you is start to look back on the positive things. Yes, you can see that there's been some messy things, you can see that there's been some negative things, but they're not the things to dwell on. They're the things to help you realize you've changed, you've made the adjustment. Look at the things that have enabled you for a positive win and focus on those. Use those to help motivate you to move forward and help create the narrative that you want going forward. And number 3 that I want to chat about is snowball momentum by celebrating small wins. And what I mean by that is when we get a snowball effect is as a snowball rolls down a hill, it gets momentum and it gets bigger and stronger and moves faster and quicker. There's an old saying or question that says, how do you eat an elephant? And the way to do that is one bite at a time. I know it seems a little cliche, a little stupid or whatever, but that's the only practical way to do it. Unfortunately, when we're battling doubt, when we're struggling with doubt, we tend to let all our attention be consumed by it. It becomes our focus point of what we're always doing. We can sometimes make something which maybe isn't as big as we thought into something bigger than it needs to be. And hence, we start to create this elephant. That's why people also say, let's address the elephant in the room. But to break down that elephant, to chip away at it, we need to take it slow. We need to do one bite at a time. So small wins are a great way to do this. Small wins are motivating because you can see real progress, real tangible progress being made. And it's within grasp. It's within the present. It's within the moment. And that's what it's all about. You're seeing that real progress in the moment built by those tiny changes and how they add up quickly over time. Then you start to get that snowball effect and things will start to move in the right direction more swiftly, more quickly, and you're going to find yourself in a better position. Now, I did say that, some of this stuff might just come across as a little airy-fairy and I say, go do this and everything's going to be solved. That's not the case, right? It really does come down to actually wanting to make some changes and you need to do the work. I can't tell you what to do, but I'm just here to help you share what's been working for me and how I've been juggling it and working through it. So let's quickly recap, and hopefully the way I recap this will give you some fresh perspective of what we've just discussed. Point number 1 is, if you have doubt that you can even do something, until you take action, you will always never ever progress with it. Let me say that again. If you have doubt that you can even do something, nothing's going to happen until you take action. Otherwise, nothing's going to progress with it. So you need to take action, small action, to start to see the progress begin. Then you adjust. Point number 2 was, the past has many learnings we can leverage. Hindsight is a wonderful thing, but it's even better when we apply those lessons today. There's that cliche statement, and I've said it so many times, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago or today, because you're going to be progressing forwards anyway, so you need to wait 20 years until you're going to get the reward of that tree. So the same thing applies today. You've got so much lesson, you've got so much hindsight that you've experienced over the last however long, and it's now up to you to start to put that into action. Learn from the past. Understand what led you to this moment and the decisions that you've made, and use that to help you narrate the steps ahead to help you overcome the doubt and move forward. And point number 3 really comes down to kind of like what James Clear from Atomic Habits is always talking about when it comes to snowballing, and that is 1% better every day means you will be 37 times better or further after 1 year through the compounding effects of progress and results. It really comes down to small wins over time help you overcome the doubt. You help see the progress on a regular basis in small chunks and will help you get you back on your feet and rebuild that confidence to move forward and overcome the doubt. So that's all I had for you today. I really do hope this has helped. And look, I'm not going to lie, I won't beat around the bush. This has been a really big talking point, just as much to me than it is to you. I've been struggling with this over the last couple of weeks, and it's been a bit of a challenge over the last 4 weeks or so, simply because I was hit unexpectedly with some fatigue after having COVID, and it's kind of pushed me off the rails. It's kind of come out of nowhere and just kind of slapped me in the face, and it's been a huge confidence hit simply because I wasn't expecting it. I was expecting I would just have to follow the regulations and then get back on my feet and hit the ground running, and that hasn't been the case. So it's been a bit of a journey, but that is the whole point here, is there is a journey, there is a path out of this, and there is a path ahead. We just got to make sure we're getting on that path. And sometimes we need some guidance, sometimes we need someone to hold their hand, and sometimes we just need that fresh perspective. And that's why I wanted to share this today, because whether or not you're experiencing the same thing as me, I know doubt comes in so many different forms, whether it's imposter syndrome, self-doubt, or just we've just lost confidence. And I want to make sure that you're being able to move forward in some of these things which we don't necessarily expect to come our way, and that we're going to have to work through them. And that's why I wanted to have this conversation, because I'm working through it, and I'm sure there's someone else here that needs some help or some support to also work through it. So if you want to chat about this, if you want to reach out, you can hit me up on the socials over at Further Your Lifestyle on Instagram, or hit me up on Twitter at Further Your Life, or drop me an email at hello@furtheryourlifestyle.com. I'd love to continue the conversation with you. This is not a easy conversation, and it's a very serious conversation as well. So please don't sit afar and don't be silent. Ask for help if you need it. More than happy to have the conversation. Appreciate you being here. It's always great to be able to have this conversation. Got plenty more episodes coming up. We're getting close to the midway point of the year, which always excites me because it's a chance to reflect, a chance to kind of check in and see where we're at. Sometimes it can be quite revealing to show that maybe we're not where we wanted to be, but it also opens up some pretty good opportunities around how we can get back on track, or how we can make the second half of the year the best second half we could possibly make it. So look forward to that. We've got some guests coming too. Anyway, really do appreciate you being here. If you did enjoy this episode, feel free to share it or send it to someone else that you think might resonate with this one, or could use this under their belt just to help them get out of some doubt, or just maybe it's relevant for them to hear. Really do appreciate you. You have a wonderful day. Cheers. Now, if you didn't know, we do have the podcast merch, and this is with a key focus of enamel pins. Now, if you haven't checked these out, make sure you do, because the intent of these are really just to be a small token and a reminder for you to charge on, to push on, and to further your lifestyle. Whether it is a gift for someone else to encourage them, or maybe to inspire them, or maybe it's a way to motivate yourself, or you can simply just make a purchase to simply support the podcast, which would be greatly appreciated. We do also have some sweaters and some long tees, so make sure you check it out. Link in the description and in the show notes. Really do appreciate it. Cheers.